For that one also plus or minus 5% voltage variation. As per the customer choice, they may take single phase connection and three phase connection. So, how to provide quality, reliable electrical power supply to the various types of load? Quality power. And quality and reliable. Reliable power means uninterrupted power supply by maintaining proper infrastructure of the distribution system. You can see that entire the day, entire the month, entire the year, the power failure must be less. How many hours per year? Number of hours per year, 8760 hours, 365 into 24 hours without any failures. If you give that the year, reliability is 100% for day wise, week wise, month wise. You must maintain the proper infrastructure and the distribution systems by maintaining the maintenance of the electrical distribution system. How to provide quality, reliable electrical power supply to various types of load with less tariff and better protection. Here, how to provide quality, reliable electrical power to the various types of load. What is load? Already we discussed many times. Load means which consume the electrical energy is called electrical load. For example, in the electrical machines lab, we are doing mechanical loading and electrical loading experiment. Okay, here we have electrical load which consume the electrical energy. In our house, what are the loads will be there in our house? Refrigerator, air conditioner, and oven, fans, lights, all household appliances used your cell phone, laptop, many electrical and electronic devices which consume the electrical energy is called load. So, how you classify the loads? We discussed in the previous class. Loads are classified into five types: domestic or residential load, commercial load, industrial load, municipal load, agriculture load. Okay, based on the utility of electrical power, the load may be classified into five types of loads. And the state distribution companies, as per the purpose of electrical energy, they may take the different types of tariffs from the customer. Tariff means cost per unit energy is called tariff. Cost per unit energy is called tariff. What is unit? Suppose if you run 100 watts any device continuously 10 hours, 100 into 10, 1000 watt. 1000 watt hour simply we are calling one electrical unit or 1 kW. Means for that one unit, the money taken, that is called tariff. Cost per unit energy is called the tariff. Okay, how to provide quality, reliable electrical power supply, the various types of the loads with better protection and less tariff of the electrical power supply. Okay, based on the utility of the power, five types of loads will be categorized. Okay, already we discussed that domestic loads vary. They are domestic load name itself clear. Commercial load, industrial load, agriculture load, municipal load. Municipal load means the electrical power used for common amenities like drinking water supply systems, street lightings, and these are called the municipal loads. So nowadays in metropolitan cities, the MMTs, these all are the government operated trains and this metro train, these all are the municipal load. Okay, these are all the connected to the, okay. We discussed in the first unit what is load, types of load, and this basic definition of the all loads and the relationship between load and load characteristics. Okay. Well, coming to the second unit, what we discussed here, second unit, distribution feeder configuration, substation, distribution feeder configuration. Means the electrical distribution system below 33 kV operation, we are calling electrical distribution system. Below 33 kV operation, we are calling electrical distribution system. So this 33 kV is the highest operating voltage in the distribution system. This 33 kV substation, the 33 kV step down to 11. 11 is given to directly our distribution primary, and secondary of distribution transformer to all individual consumers will given to the secondary distribution system. The distribution feeder configuration two types: primary distribution system, secondary distribution system. 33 kV to primary of distribution transformer is called primary distribution system. Secondary of transformer to your end user energy meter, secondary distribution system. Okay, we are using for secondary, for primary distribution or secondary distribution system carried by three methods. You know very well: radial method, loop method, or mesh method, interconnected system. As per the customer requirement and the quality of reliable power required based on the customer interest and load density of the area, they will use the radial system, loop system, interconnected system. Okay, here is that you know very well that radial system is a single source, single path method, and loop system double path method, and interconnected system multiple path. Okay, this multiple path method means one load is connected by several distribution transformers. For example, some important loads, VIP loads, whether it is a pharmaceutical industry or the constitutional places like High Court and Assembly, Secretariat, and radio stations, some DGP office, some important places where they are required the quality, reliable supply, 24 hour, 365 days uninterrupted supply. Such places, even though costly, we will operate the multiple path method interconnected system. And in the real-time operating, whether radial or loop type or interconnected, all are the radial system only. The facility will be there, physically, electrically, the facility will be there. And as per the distribution feeder configuration, if it is a radial configuration, there is no other way to get the power supply. If it is a interconnected system or loop system, you can operate it as a radial or a loop method. Okay. Yeah. Next, we discussed in the last unit one more topic. What is substation? How you fix the rating of substation? What is substation? Anybody? What is substation? Substation is a place where voltage level, current level will change. The power will be changed one circuit to the other circuit, or conversion of power one pump to the other pump. Okay, this you know very well types of substation, and how you locate the location of the substation. What are the factors affecting the location of substation? It must be near to the load center. It must be near to the national highways or district. Access for incoming feeders, access for outgoing feeder, possibility of expansion of distribution substation. Like that, many factors will affect the location of substation. And how you fix the rating of substation means we have seen the several theorems, that square shaped analysis, hexagonal shaped analysis means that whether we are planning for a long run, short term scheduling, or long term, short term plan or long term. Based on that, we'll fix the rating of distribution substation or transformer. Okay, this optimal location of substation means that many regions will be given. That many regions means whichever is having the technically by getting good voltage profile, less infrastructure cost. That is called optimal region of a substation. Okay, that we discussed in the second. While coming to the third unit, distribution system analysis. In the distribution system, what are the parameters will be there here? Sending end port, receiving end. Sending end port, sending end power, receiving side, receiving end power. Sending end voltage, receiving end voltage. Sending end power factor, receiving. we compare these three parameters, if the sending end to receiving end power is losses is negligible, and if the loss is below 5%, it is a good system. If the sending end to receiving end voltage also very voltage profile is variation is very less, then it is a good by maintaining power factor sending end to receiving end. Suppose if the receiving end power factor is less, if you consume the power means the degradation of the devices will take. Okay, in that, so that analysis we have seen in the third unit means that distribution system analysis means power losses and voltage drop calculation. We have seen in the many problems, and so this power, suppose this power loss in the distribution system, there is no rotating parts. All are the static devices. Why the distribution losses are more means by using bad quality of infrastructure or some illegal connection, unauthorized connection in the distribution system, the losses will increase. So use the quality conductor and by maintaining the proper clearance and maintenance of the distribution, because the losses will be minimized. Transformer is a static device which converts power one circuit to the another circuit, but there is no rotating parts. Why the distribution losses are 30 to 20 to 30% in Singapore or European or Japan, some developed nation, their losses are below 5 to 8% only. Our 5% in Bangladesh, Pakistan, the distribution losses are 32%. Huge amount of loss. Means we are not in the quality conductor, bad quality of transformers. Means that core losses and iron losses will be more, and this all will create the more losses in the distribution system. That we have seen that calculation of voltage drop, the real power, reactive power. By knowing that one, you can know the rating of distribution transformer. That is S is equal to P plus JQ. S is equal to P plus JQ, or apparent power S is equal to root of P square plus Q square. That will solve many problems. The transformer rate is getting 67 kV or 68 kV. It depends upon the input voltage, whether it is a single phase or three phase. So various points we are measuring the tapping of the power. Okay, now today's topic is what is the necessity of voltage? Okay, what is the necessity of distribution system protection? What is the necessity of distribution system protection? Today's topic is necessity of distribution system protection. Anybody, any answer? What is the necessity of distribution system protection? Okay, in the distribution system, why the fault occurs? What is the need of the distribution system protection? Suppose in our society, if each and every citizen will follow the rules and regulation, why we are keeping the traffic signals and the civil police station, traffic police stations, many forces, and all aspects. If every citizen will follow the rules and regulations, but in the real time, everyone knowingly, unknowingly, they are violating the rules. That's why we are using this police force or the traffic signal controlling many. Here also in the electrical distribution system, unexpected and due to load variations and the changing of power one circuit to the other circuit, connecting at the opening or closing of the big connectors, and this over voltages, possibility of short circuit due to lightning atmosphere, lightning, and many problems will arise. Okay, many problems will arise with the distribution system. Okay, the main objectives of distribution system. So we need to protect the distribution system. Here in the distribution system, I told that electrical distribution system below 33 kV operation is calling electrical distribution system. The power generation, power transmission, distribution, utilization, these all distribution, these all are the man-made system only. We are generating power, transmitting, and distributing the power to the end user. Okay, in this process, many here major two important components will be there in the distribution system: transformer and consumer apparatus. These two are the important devices in the distribution system. We have to see always protection for distribution transformer and how to protect the consumer apparatus. Here major task is that whenever you are not feeling well means your body temperature will go higher, low means that you have to consult the doctor and will take the treatment. Okay, if the normal body temperature 98 Fahrenheit, you are a healthy person. It is less and over 104, 103 also indicates that you are sick or you are abnormal your body temperature. Like that in the electrical distribution system, if voltage profile is plus or minus 5% voltage variation, then the distribution system is healthy operation. Without any interruptions in the distribution system is called a reliable power. To get quality and reliable power to the various types of the customers, we have to protect the distribution system from. Okay, that's it. Objectives of distribution system protection. Okay. The modern power system is complex and even through the protection equipment from 4 to 5% of the total. Okay, why we need the protection means? Okay, now we'll see the objectives of distribution system protection. The primary objectives of distribution system protection are: number one, minimize the fault duration, minimize the number of consumers affected by the fault. These are the primary objectives of distribution system. The secondary objectives of distribution system are: eliminate safety hazards as fast as possible and minimize service failures to the smallest possible branch of the distribution system. Protect the consumer apparatus, protect the distribution system from unnecessary service interruptions and disturbance. Disconnect faulted branches, transformers, and other components. These are the 7 objectives of distribution system form. Now, these are the objectives of distribution system protection. While coming to the fault, types of faults, overhead distribution system are subjected to broadly 2 types. They are temporary faults or permanent fault and permanent faults. Temporary faults and permanent faults. Okay, depending upon the nature of the system, most of the faults are transient in nature. These faults occur when phase conductors of the system electrically contact the phase conductors to the ground momentarily due to the trees, birds, other animals, high wind, and lightning flash overs. The duration of fault is to be minimized using instantaneous or high-speed tripping. Automatic closing of a relay prevents unnecessary fuse breaking. Okay, these all are the caused by the temporary faults in the distribution system. Next, while coming to the permanent faults, are those which requires repair by repair in terms of replacing burned down conductors, blowers, or other or any other damaged apparatus, removing trees from the lines, removing tree limbs from the lines, manually reclosing circuit breaker or closer to restore service. Okay, in the distribution system, 2 types of faults will be there: temporary faults and permanent faults. Okay. Again, these faults generally these faults are subdivided into 4 categories, four possibility faults types, which occurs in the distribution system. Generally, these are again divided to 4 possible fault types which occur in the distribution system, single line to ground fault, and line to line fault, double line to ground fault, three-phase fault. Okay, these are the faults. So this percentage of faults in the distribution system, single line to ground fault 70% and line to line faults 15%, double line to ground faults 10%, and three-phase faults 5%. Addition of fault 70, 15 plus 10 plus 15 is 100. Okay, this is the loss. The fault will occur in the distribution system. Okay, in general, the maximum and minimum fault currents are both calculated from the given distribution system. The maximum fault current is determined based on the following assumptions. All generators are connected. The fault is dead short circuit 1 and the load is maximum peak. While minimum fault current is determined based on the following: minimum number of generators connected, the fault is not dead short circuit one, and but fault impedance is not zero. The load is minimum P. Okay. As of now you are in 4-1. Now you completed power system 1, power generation, power system 2, power transmission, performance of the transmission line, and switchgear and protection. The three papers you are completed in the second year, third year, and 3-1, 3-2. Now you know very well the switchgear and protective devices. Okay, this overcurrent protective. What are the overcurrent protective devices? Anybody? The overcurrent protective devices applied to distribution system includes relay controlled circuit breaker, automatic circuit recloser, fuse and automatic line equalizers. Okay, these are the protective devices, so overcurrent protective devices used in the distribution feeder. So, okay, that is includes relay controlled circuit breaker, automatic circuit reclosers, fuses, automatic lines. You know very well the basic function of fuse. Fuse, it is an overcurrent device with a circuit opening ability when directly heated and gets destroyed by the flowing overcurrent through it. And in the event of an overload or short circuit condition. Therefore, the purpose of fuse is to isolate the failure of line or segment from the system. Okay, the fuse element is generally made of material having low melting and high conductivity and least deterioration due to the oxidation. Means that silver, copper, and it is inserted silver, copper, tin, lead, alloy materials used for manufacturing material. Okay, you know very well the advantage of fuses. This is automatic circuit recloser. Automatic circuit recloser. It is an overcurrent protective device that automatically trips and reclosed a number of times to clear temporary faults. It is an current protective device that automatically trips and reclosed a number of times to clear the faults or isolate permanent faults. About 90% of faults on the overhead distribution system lines are of temporary nature and caused by lightning or bypassing an objective near or through lines, but in tree branches or touching conductor. These conditions result arcing faults, and arc in the air faults can be extinguished by de-energizing the system by simultaneous opening of circuit breaker on both end of the feeder. Okay. This automatic circuit recloser, it is an overcurrent protective device that automatically trips the closed number of times to clear temporary faults or isolate permanent faults. About 90% of the faults are overhead distribution system are of temporary nature. It is an automatic interrupting device which is capable of breaking and enclosing circuit under all conditions, that is faulted normal operating conditions. A circuit breaker basically consists of fixed and moving plates called electrodes. Under normal operating conditions, this contact remain closed, will not open automatically until and unless the system became faulted. Of course, the contacts can be opened manually or by remote control whenever desired. When a fault occurs or any part of the distribution system, the trip coil of the circuit breaker get energized and moving contacts are built apart by some mechanism, thus opening the circuit. Yes. Okay, then as of now we covered the objectives of distribution system protection. Okay, objectives of distribution system protection. What are the various protective devices used in the distribution system? Uses auto reclosers, automatic circuit breakers, automatic line supervisor, their functions. Okay, while using the more number of protective devices in the distribution system, we need some coordination in the distribution system. Means that many protective devices are there. If all the devices will work in the proper coordination only, then only will get the quality reliable supply all the time without any interruptions. Okay. The coordination of the protective device. The time current characteristics of overcurrent protective devices in distribution system are selected. The time current characteristics of overcurrent protective devices in distribution system are selected and set such that protection devices operate in desired preset time sequence in the event of fault. This is called the protection coordination. When two protective apparatus installed in series have or different characteristics which provide a preset operation sequence, then they are said to be coordinated. The device which is set to operate initially to isolate the fault defined as protective device. It is usually the apparatus, the apparatus, it is usually the apparatus which will be near to the fault. The apparatus which furnishes backup protection but operates only when protective devices fail to operate, clear the fault, is defined as protected device. It is usually the apparatus which will be far away to the fault. Okay, in your house, you can observe in your house the near energy meter one master MCB will be there. Room wise MCBs will be there, or nowadays we are using miniature circuit breakers MCBs. Early days we are using the more number of users, the function is same. So the room wise users will be there. Suppose in one individual board more than exceeds the 800 watts, will use the more number of boards in the each board is having the one fuse or the MCBs. Okay. If it is a room-wise MCB is unable to operate and due to overload or short circuit condition, then master fuse will come into the master fuse rating. You assume that 32 amperes, room-wise is 8 amperes. If it is operates first 8 ampere fuse, that fault will isolated from that room. If it is it is unable to operate that room-wise fuse up to 32 amperes, the level of reach to the fault current level, then no master fuse are Meanwhile, the faulty duration will be extended, more damage will take place on entire the wiring system of your house. Like that entire, suppose one colony 100 houses is connected to one distribution transformer. There is no proper fusing, few more number of fuses or the same circuit breakers, auto reclosers in the feeder. That fault current will flow the entire the colony. If the overloaded or the short circuit condition, all the entire the colony device apparatus will be damaged. What is the that purpose of distribution system protection may not serve. We need the coordination between the protective devices, lower rating fuse near to the load and higher rating away from the load. Okay, here fuse to fuse coordination, circuit breaker to circuit breaker coordination, fuse to circuit breaker coordination, multiple combination of coordination. Okay, the main objectives of coordination. While taking the main objectives of coordination, the main objectives of coordination. The main objectives of properly coordinated to devices. Minimize the extent of fault. Minimize the extent of fault. The number of customers affected. Minimize the extent of fault in order to reduce the number of customers affected. Number of customers affected. Minimize the service interruption due to temporary faults. That 90% of the faults are temporary in nature. To minimize the service interruption due to temporary faults. If you clear the temporary faults by maintaining the proper distribution feeders away from the tree branches and proper span between the conductors, okay, that will reduce the temporary. Minimize the duration of service outage to identify the location of fault. Minimize the duration of service outage means power of condition. If it is 2 hours, 3 hours means meaningless. Within 2-3 minutes, we have to restore the power and identify the fault and rectify the fault. These are the three main objectives of coordination. Minimize the extent of fault in order to reduce the number of consumers affected. Minimize the service interruption due to temporary faults. Minimize the duration of service outage to identify the location of fault. Now, in the distribution system, is almost 99% of the distribution systems are overheads. The distribution system, it is underground distribution system, many problems will be minimized. Due to cost effectiveness, many of the lines are the overhead distribution system. It is exposed to atmosphere and our roads are narrow roads and either side we are the plantation, this all these the bus bars, and out every 50 days you must clear the clearance between the trees and bus bars certain 3 meters gap. Then only you can minimize the temporary faults and the distribution system coordination is possible. Procedure for coordination, distribution system coordination. Okay, various protective devices will be there in the distribution system, fuses, circuit breakers, auto reclosers, and line sectioners. These are the overcurrent protective devices. We need protection. Protective device means some coordination required. For that one, we need procedure for coordination. So, suppose anybody will enter into the VJIT campus, they will see the block diagram, A block, B block, C block, like that. Without asking anybody, they can enter the campus and it's not black for 3 like that. Here also, we need coordination procedure means first, the point number one, draw the line diagram of distribution system, indicate location of overcurrent relays, fuses, and auto reclosers. Means draw the diagram of distribution system, indicating location of overcurrent relays, fuses, auto reclosers. Determine steady state short circuit current, asymmetrical peak short circuit current, normal load current, minimum short circuit current at above locations. Coordination, coordinate protective device starting from substation onwards, from the end distribution feeder back to the substation. That 33 kV substation step, 33 kV is stepped down to 11. 11 is given to your distribution transformer. distribution transformer secondary is connected to the single phase 3-wire system or 3-phase 5-wire system. It is connected to the as per the customer choice. All the okay, the coordinate protective device starting from substation towards outwards from the end of the distribution feeder back to the substation. Draw the time current characteristics of the distribution protective devices coordination. Okay. Now in the distribution, that these are the procedure for coordination. While coming to the types of coordination is required, the different types of coordinations are suppose in our college also. Students to class CR will coordinate with the class teacher and class teacher all activity and principal madam direct. This is the hierarchy of coordination in the distribution system. Many phases are there, many breakers, many auto reclosers will be there. How you coordinate one to other? Different types of coordination methods in the electrical distribution system. Number one, fuse to fuse coordination. Number two, auto recloser to fuse coordination. Number three, circuit breaker to fuse coordination. Number four, circuit breaker to auto recloser coordination. Okay, these four types of coordination will be there. Possibility of fuse to fuse coordination, auto recloser to fuse coordination, circuit breaker to fuse coordination, circuit breaker to auto recloser coordination. In the electrical distribution system, 33 kV, below 33 kV operation, we are calling electrical distribution system. This 33 kV is connected to 11 kV system. 11 kV is directly given to your distribution transformer, and secondary of transformer to given to single phase 3-wire system, 3-phase 5-wire system. In between your energy meter to 33 kV substation, many number of fuses, auto reclosers, circuit breakers will be there in the distribution feeder. We need fuse to fuse coordination. Now we'll take one first type, fuse to fuse coordination. Now you can see the fuse to fuse coordination. Now we will take the fuse to fuse coordination. First, you see the diagram of fuse to fuse coordination. Here, here you can see this coordination between two fuses in the series. So A fuse and B fuse will beyond B fuse fault is occurs. Beyond B fuse fault is occur. Beyond B fuse fault is occur. Now we'll see the sequence of the coordination between the fuse to fuse. Fuse A is called the protected fuse and fuse B is called the protecting fuse, are drawn in single line diagram as shown the figure. For perfect coordination, fuse B must melt and clear the fault before fuse A is damaged. To ensure these, three things are required. Fuse A is called protected fuse and fuse B is called the protecting fuse, are drawn in the single line diagram. For perfect coordination, fuse B must melt, clear the fault before fuse A is damaged. To ensure this, three things are required. The maximum characteristics of fuse B is plotted. The minimum characteristics of fuse A is plotted. 75% of minimum melting curve of A is plotted to make sure that the fuse is not damaged and to account for any degradation in the fuse characteristics. For one small example, for my house, 5 years back I used one geyser. That geyser is a 16 ampere fuse I am using. After 5 years, that 16 ampere fuse is operating 12 amperes. 4 amperes degradation will take place. Whenever sudden switching of the geyser, the MCB will trip. Means after 5 years, the MCB is degraded to the 16 amperes to 10 10 or 12 amperes. So whenever the sudden switching or closing of operation, MCB will stripping or the short circuit of this heating element in the, then also the degradation will take place. Okay, 75% of the minimum melting curve of A is plotted to make sure that fuse is not damaged, account for any degradation in the fuse characteristics. For example, if you purchase any smartphone, first 6 months the charging period is good. After 1 year, the charging will get only 3 to 4 hours. It means the degradation of battery will take place. Here also, the protecting fuses are the MCBs. The degradation will take place. It depends upon the operating condition. Operation continuously operate. Suppose if you are operating one geyser or any power load continuously 24 hours of, like that the degradation will take place, and we have to every 6 months or 1 year we have to check the operating characteristics of particular device. Okay, now you can see the now you can see here fuse A, fuse B, and beyond fuse B, the fault is occur. How the characteristic? If the damage curve of fuse A, you can see the characteristics of the fuse. If the damage curve of fuse A and the time clearance curve of fuse B never, then it is said to be perfect protection. If they cross at some value of current, then it is called the limit of coordination. Then it is called the limit of fault. Suppose the curve cross at 200 amperes, 200 amperes. Suppose the curve cross at 200 amperes. This means that coordination more than 200 amperes is unlikely. However, if the maximum available short the system at that at that location is only 150, the fuse would be considered fully coordinated. Now you can see the diagram clearly. The fuse A is actually protected fuse, and the fuse B as protecting fuse. Okay, if B is unable to operate, and fuse A will operate. If it is A, fuse will operate B first, and it is a perfect coordination. That is called the limiting of coordination. Okay, now we are seeing the melting, the time current characteristics of fuse A and B. That fuse A melting curve, P curves yes, you can see, and the fuse B total clearing time, and the dotted one will show the 75% of the characteristics of EA. That is called limit of coordination. So this is fuse to fuse coordination. Okay, fuse to, I will repeat, fuse A is called the protected fuse, and fuse B is called protecting diagram as shown below figure. For perfect coordination, fuse B must melt and clear the fault before fuse A is damaged. To ensure these three things are required, the maximum characteristics of the fuse B is plotted, the minimum characteristics of fuse A is plotted, 75% of the minimum melting curve of fuse A is plotted to make sure that fuse is not damaged, and to account for any degradation in the fuse characteristics. Okay. If the damage curve of fuse A and the time clearance curve of fuse B never cross, then it is said to be perfect coordination. If they cross at some value of current, then it is called limit of coordination. Okay, limit of coordination. Okay, we'll continue in the next class.